This is Nick Coates. I'm the Deputy City Manager for the City of Lebanon. I oversee the Public Works Group, the department, and with me today I have...
Jay Corelli. I'm the Assistant Director of Public Works.
Great. So what we're here to do today is to talk a little bit about an Assistant Director's position that we have open in the department, and we want to give people a little bit of a flavor beyond just the job ad. So they understand what exactly the position is, and hopefully you're interested in participating in the hiring process and getting to work with us. So the City of Lebanon is a city in the Upper Valley of Vermont, New Hampshire line. We are in New Hampshire, but we draw from multiple communities around the area. What we have is a Department of Public Works, and that Public Works Department oversees a lot of different things. Things like our water group and our wastewater group, which is sewer systems. We have a highway group. We've got a utilities maintenance group. We've got a cemetery group. We've got a whole host of other things that we do here as a department. We're one of the major departments, just like a police and fire department in the City of Lebanon. We're one of the biggest employers in the region, and Lebanon is one of the places that many people from Boston, when they're looking to relocate out of Boston, come to Lebanon. It's a great place to work, and it's a great place to live. We have nice parks, and we have great infrastructure, and we have good employers here beyond just the city. We also work very closely with our neighboring communities collaboratively, so we've got good relationships here in the city. So as an employer, we pay competitive wages, probably some of the best wages in the region. We have a very good healthcare system. We have a very good retirement participation, as well as dependent care, and all sorts of other things that are offered to employees. We are also in the neighborhood with some other major employers like Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center, Dartmouth College. We also have a lot of high-tech businesses here in town that are connected with the university, as well as private entities, so companies like Hypertherm and other major employers like that. So there's a lot of opportunity in the Upper Valley, and we're working really hard on housing as well as a community, and daycare as well. So we're really trying to make this a great place where you can come and settle your family and have your career here. So that's a little bit about the city and the Department of Public Works. So Jay is one of our assistant directors here at the department, and so I'm going to ask him a couple questions to tell us a little bit more about the position. And so Jay, as an assistant director for DPW, can you tell us a little bit more about what the assistant director is, and particularly the assistant director for admin?
Sure. So we have two assistant director positions. I'm in one, and then we have the vacant one we're hoping to hire for. So I oversee the operations, the guys that are out in the field, the men and women that are out in the field doing the work, fixing the roads, treating water and wastewater, working at the landfill, stuff like that. The other assistant director position is going to be focused on the admin group. So Nick, myself, Kelly Craig, who's our finance manager, we make up like the administrative team, the management team. This person would be on that team to oversee, help oversee the core functions of what we do, make sure that we're working towards the goals in our strategic plan, and we're not losing sight of the big picture. This person would be primarily focused on the admin side, so doing a lot of work with our finance group. They'd be overseeing our energy and facilities manager, who oversees the HVAC contract for the whole city and is involved with a lot of different energy related projects we have going on. We're moving towards electrifying our fleet. We're trying to do a solar phase 3. We already did phase 1 and 2. So there's some big projects that this person would be involved with overseeing. They'd oversee the engineering group, who manages all of our big construction projects. They'd be very involved with helping to develop our CIP, our long range project list that we go to council for every year.
The asset manager position as well?
The asset manager position also. So we have a program called PHI program that we have probably 75% of our assets collected, and we do work orders off of those assets through this system. This spring, we have a big push to get all the highway assets, the stuff out on the road, the culverts, the ditches, the signs, retaining walls, bridges, stuff like that. And then we want to do work orders for all those assets based off of stuff that comes out of this system as well. Also, with that, we want to be able to assess the lifespan of each asset we have. So as the maintenance is ramping up, as the asset becomes further along in its useful life, we can have a scheduled replacement for that based on the increasing cost to maintain that asset. So I think that's most of what this person is going to be doing.
So would this person be doing that actual work, or would they be more like sort of managing the staff of that?
Definitely managing. So the engineers would be direct reports to this person, the asset manager, the energy and facilities manager, all our finance people and admin people would be reporting to this person. So they'd be overseeing that work, making sure it's getting done the way we need it to. And being part of that team.
Yeah, big part of this too is contract management and making sure that we're on budget and for our contracts and those sorts of things. Yeah, good. So this is kind of a silly question because you do this position, and I know why it exists, but I think it's good for everybody to understand that too. So, like, why do we have this position?
So, being part of the leadership team, we really focus a lot in the conversations that we have as part of that group on our long range planning, making sure that we're not losing sight of the goals that are in our strategic plan and moving those forward and not getting stuck in the day-to-day and getting lost in just focusing on the short-term stuff. So this is more of an overseeing, making sure we have our long range goals, in our view at all times, and we're working towards accomplishing those.
Yeah.
So.
Good. So you mentioned this earlier, but maybe just talk a little bit more about this. Like, who is this person going to work with more specifically?
So Kelly Crate, our main finance person, is going to be probably the person you'll work with the most. We oversee a lot of contracts. We have a big budget because we just do a lot of big projects, a lot of stuff in our day-to-day. So a lot of finance stuff, a lot of budgeting, a lot of watching our budgets throughout the year, making sure we're staying on time, staying in budget. Your asset manager is going to be a primary person. Everything that we're doing is moving in that direction. So it's really going to guide the department in all the work that we do. So it's a very large part of what we have coming up this year that this person is going to oversee. Those are probably the two key people. The engineers are very good at carrying out what they do. You will be overseeing them, but they'll be managing the day-to-day part of the projects and mostly just keeping you aware of where they are and how the project is going.
Yeah, good. So is this position, is that person going to be working in a field, or is this more of an office position?
Definitely more in the office. We do have recurring meetings throughout the year for budget and CIP where we go to city council, but typically our schedule is 8 to 4, and this person probably at least 90% of the time would be sticking to that schedule. This person would have the opportunity to go out and see what we do as much as they want to, but the primary function of this job is going to be office work and being here.
And this is a salary position, correct? Yeah. Okay, good. So, like, what are some of the tools and skills you need to be successful at this job, and what are some of the things that you're going to use to do this job?
Good budgeting skills, time management is very important. We're very busy. It's a fast-paced environment, so time management is very important. Communication is going to be key for this person. Written, oral, every type of communication you can imagine. Just keeping the team aware of what you're doing, making sure that you're communicating what the goals are and what the deadlines are. This is a person that's going to interact with a lot of different departments. So, a friendly person that can get along with all types of different people is going to be important for this job.
And I think one of the big expectations too is that this person's going to manage by walking around. Like they're not going to just sit in an office all day, but they're actually going to work with their sort of direct reports and managing and making sure that projects are staying on track and employees are doing what they're supposed to. You're not necessarily doing the work, but that you're interacting with people. We don't want someone who's going to just want to sit in an office all day and just punch away at a keyboard. I mean, there's going to be a lot of that for sure. But we do want that person to kind of be out, open and active and being working closely with their employees as well. Yeah. So are there any special skills that are needed? I mean, this is probably more of an office type position. So you're going to be using your desktop computer, your laptop computer, tablet, that kind of stuff. Beehive, you talked about Beehive. Is this person going to be doing the Beehive or is it more kind of like overseeing it?
Definitely overseeing. As far as special skills, there's not any, you don't have to be a PE to be an assistant director for this position. You don't have to be licensed in water, wastewater, solid waste, nothing like that, but strong office skills. Like I said, very good communication, very familiar with finance and some of the rules that govern what we can do and how we can do that.
Yeah, good. So we talked about kind of the just the ins and outs of the position, but tell us a little bit more about some of the fun and interesting things that we get to do, and maybe not necessarily this position, but just generally DPW. What are some of the fun and interesting things that we do as a department?
So I got involved in public works when I started. I was a water plant operator. I did that for about 5 years before I came to Lebanon. I've been here for 10 years now. Those processes are very interesting to me. Probably my favorite thing about this type of job, we're involved with really big projects, seeing those from, an idea all the way through completion. At the end of that project, the level of job satisfaction, seeing something through to the end is awesome. So that's my favorite thing about the Public Works Department. There's not really another group in the city that gets to really see things from an idea all the way through the way we do. So that's definitely my favorite part.
And we get to touch every part of the city too, right? I mean, it's pretty much like every road, every bridge, every sidewalk, every wastewater manhole, sewer manhole, culvert, you name it. We're pretty much interacting with the entire city in some way or another, which is kind of a neat thing. And that this position will see a lot of that. You'll see a lot of the different pieces of the city through the contracts and through the work that gets done. And you're right, that it is very satisfying to kind of see a project and to actually shape a project. And especially this person's going to be working with the engineers. They're going to be doing a lot of the really fun, interesting projects where they're going to be really changing the landscape of the city and shaping it to kind of the next thing that we are as a city, for sure. What are some of the challenges? I mean, let's be real. What are some of the things that are hard about this job?
It's fast paced. We have a lot of people. So, managing all the different divisions, there's just a lot going on, a lot to stay on top of. I'd say that's the biggest challenge is just the volume of what we do. It keeps very busy.
Yeah.
So, but with that, I mean, you get to see a lot of different things. There's a high variety of stuff that we deal with. So you never get bored. It's always interesting. Yeah. So, well, it's a challenge. It's also a benefit to being such a big department.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think you touched on this a little bit, but let me just ask you again, just to see if you want to add anything to this. Who do you think would be a good fit position? You talked for this position. So you talked about sort of a good sort of friendly personality, and I don't know if you want to add anything more to that, or.
I think really what we're looking for, we need a team member, someone that can work with a wide variety of people, someone who's goal oriented. We just need another member of our team, someone who's going to interact well with everybody, make sure we're getting everything going in the right direction and overseeing. To make sure that we don't lose sight of what the end goal is, and really good at achieving results.
Yeah. So a little bit more about pay and benefits. So I'll mention pay, and then I know you do a really good job of explaining the benefits. Just kind of giving a little bit more explanation on kind of what we offer as a city. So pay, the range for this position is sort of mid 80s up to I think 110 or so, 10,000. So this is a senior management type position. And while you're not going to get rich like you would maybe in a public sector, in a private sector position, there's a lot of other benefits that come with the pay. So Jay can talk about maybe what we get for retirement and health insurance and dependent care and those sorts of things.
Yeah, so city's pretty proactive with everything, but we do offer $5,000 for childcare, which is a newer benefit that a lot of people can take advantage of. We are building a childcare facility that will be an option for you to use. Sick time and vacation time is accrued per month. It's very competitive. We do have really good health insurance. We have dental, we have vision, everything that you would hope to get if you worked anywhere.
And the health insurance, one of the things that's neat is there is an option for a high deductible plan, and that if you go into that program, that you also get I believe a health spending account can measure it with whatever plan you take.
Yeah.
So I think you can get up to $4,500 in a health spending account that rolls over every year, that you can accumulate. You can also opt out, which then means that you get basically a couple checks during the year for not being on the system. So there's some nice benefit there as well.
Yeah. We do have a pension program, New Hampshire retirement system that the city contributes towards. It's a 10-year vesting period, and then you're guaranteed a pension from whenever you retire. There's some other options, 457 plans. It's sort of like a 401, but it's non-matching, and it fluctuates with the market, but you can put however much you want into that if you opt to.
Yeah, good. Any other sort of perks or any other sort of things that are cool, interesting about the job that we haven't talked about yet?
The variety of the job, it's hard to touch on that in depth in this conversation, but the job satisfaction, just because we touch so much and we improve things, every day, that's what we do. We're constantly maintaining and improving the environment that the people of the city see and live in. So the job satisfaction is really high in this type of work. So that for me is a huge perk.
Yeah, definitely. Likewise. And I think, I'm not just saying this because Jay's right next to me, but I think we have a really cool team. We've got a really good group of people that we work with. And it's rewarding to come to work and actually work with some good people who want to move the needle and get things done in the community, who are, fun and easygoing to work with, and, really kind of are bought into the mission, what we're trying to do as a department. So that's great. And we've got a great leadership team across the city too. We've got a city manager who's a real visionary, another deputy city manager who's been with us for a while and really gets it and has been in the community. They both live in the community, so they're vested in the community. And our city council is very invested in what we do, very supportive of what we do. Our mayor and assistant mayor are always very engaged with the work we're doing. So it's not like we're on an island, which I think is a cool thing to experience. So anyway, that's the assistant director's position and a little bit more about Lebanon. So this will be posted on the city's HR page, and we hope you watch it and get a little bit better idea of what we do as a city and what we do as a department and how you would play a role in that. And we look forward to seeing your application. Thanks very much.
Thank you.